Bill Gates doesn't think of himself as some guy who got super rich making bad software. Bill Gates thinks of himself as God in control of the solar system. And that's why Bill Gates is now backing something called sun-dimming technology that would reflect sunlight out of the Earth's atmosphere, causing global cooling. Ooh, that's not fraught with risks. You thought gain-of-function research on pathogens was dangerous. Try that. But that doesn't stop Harvard University. Its scientists are testing that technology by spewing calcium carbonate dust into the atmosphere.
Bill Gates is backing the first high-altitude experiment of one radical climate change solution, creating a massive chemical cloud that could cool the Earth. It's called solar geoengineering, and it's highly controversial. It would look something like this. Thousands of planes would fly very high and use nozzles to inject millions of tons of light-reflecting particles into the stratosphere. It would create a thin chemical cloud of those particles around the whole planet, blocking some sunlight from reaching the surface. It would mimic a giant volcanic eruption, which we know.
Shalom, giving all praises, honor, and glory to our Heavenly Father, Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the men that taught us the truths of knowledge and understanding, which is our apostles and our elders of the Church of Great Millstone, which is based out of New York, alright, who are rooting well. Not forgetting our bishops and our elders out in Connecticut. Shalom, peace and love be unto you, and double honors be unto you as well. Shalom to the 144,000 and the rest of the elect. Have you been feeling, tired, feeling drained, feeling drowsy, sleepy? No matter how much rest you get, you can get damn near, 10, to 8 to 10 hours of sleep. You still feel tired, when you wake up. You're eating the right things, you're exercising. You're doing everything right, but you still feel drained. Well, that could be due to, the fact that, they're poisoning the air, with these chemtrails, being the gates of hell, with their sun dimming, which they were approved by the FDA, if I'm not mistaken, to do it, so this is an actual thing that's going on. And we understand through the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of the scriptures, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, of why they're doing it. All right, when you go into the book of Jeremiah, the 31st chapter, the Heavenly Father gives stipulation unto Esau, Edom, and he pretty much gives him a challenge. If you could, do away with the sun, if you can do away with the moon, then I will break my covenant, with the house of Israel, and with the house of Judah. Hey, that's the book of Jeremiah 31 and 35. It says, "Thus saith Yahweh, which giveth the sun for a light by day, and the ordinance of the moon and of the stars for a light by night, which divideth the sea when the waves thereof roar. Yahweh of hosts is his name. If those ordinances depart from before me, saith Yahweh, then the seed of Israel also shall cease from being a nation before me forever." Which they're still jealous, they're still mad, they're envious because they didn't get the birthright, they didn't get the covenant. So they want to break our covenant with the Heavenly Father, so that they can continue their rule and reign. Which you would not be able to do that, because even going to the book of Psalms, the 72nd chapter, in let's see, Psalm 70. Psalm 72 and 7. In those days shall the righteous flourish in the abundance of peace, so as long as the moon endureth. See, the moon endure forever. Jumping down.
Bill Gates is backing the first high-altitude experiment of one radical climate change solution, creating a
And let's see,
cloud that could cool the Earth. It's called
17. It says his name shall endure forever. His name shall be continued as long as the sun, and men shall bless him, and all nations shall call him blessed. So the sun and the moon, endures forever, just like the earth endures forever. The Heavenly Father created them to, he gave the blueprint to Yahweh Shai and the angels to create them, all right, so that they would last forever. But this devil is trying to blot out, the sun, blot out the moon, because he wants to prove the Heavenly Father wrong, which he thinks that he made an error in selecting us to be the people. So this devil, due to what they say, global warming, all right, is trying to dim out the sun to pretty much cool the planet. All right, but you're not cooling the planet. What you're actually doing is killing, the plants, the vegetation, and killing the trees, which takes in the carbon dioxide and gives us fresh air. All right, it purifies the air and gives us fresh air. All right, and due to the lack of the fresh air, fresh oxygen, all right, that's what causes the headaches. That's what causes you to feel drained. It causes you to feel sleepy. You feel like the air quality is thinner. You can barely breathe. All right, well, this devil is using this weapon to its full extent. That's the reason why this devil has to be taken out of the way. And what does it say in the book of 2 Thessalonians, the 2nd chapter? And verse 7, it says, and I'll read it in the NLT, for the lawless is already at work secretly, which was the Roman Empire back then, which was the mystery of iniquity, which the Roman Empire fell and they came back into power, and America is the second leg of that Roman Empire. And who's ruling over America, or through America, and ruling over the earth? Well, it's Edomites, all right, the rich elite banking families. And it will remain secret until the one who is holding it back, all right, steps out of the way. So the one that's allowing Esau to be in this position is the Heavenly Father. He's the one that ruleth in the kingdom of men and gives it into whomsoever he will. So, you thinking in your mind, well, how long, Lord? How long? Because if you don't come and take this devil down, then basically it's not going to be any flesh saved. Nobody's going to be saved. All right, because this devil will destroy everything. And that's the reason why it says in Matthew 24 and 22, and except those days should be shortened. All right, there should no flesh be saved, but for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. So you can see it. All right, time is speeding up, days are speeding up. All right, hours are speeding up, minutes are speeding up, seconds are speeding up. All right, and prophecies are happening quick. Well, the Heavenly Father has shortened the days for the elect's sake, because if he hadn't, this devil would destroy everything. All right, he would destroy everything. All right, he is destroying the earth. And as it states within the book of Revelation, the 11th chapter and the 18th verse, it says, and the nations were angry, and the wrath is come in the time of the dead, that they should be judged, and that thou shouldest give reward unto thy servants the prophets, and to the saints, and to them that fear the name of Yahweh small and great. All right, and shouldest destroy them which destroy the earth. So who's destroying the earth? All right, it's this demon. All right, Esau, Edom. I read a little bit of this article. The numbers prove it. Ever since the gates of hell and his elite backers began dimming the sun with stratospheric aerosol injections, the skies have been poisoned. They told us it was cooling the planet. They lied, because sun dimming doesn't just block the light, it strips away the very breath of life itself. See, The enemy, he's an enemy of life. All right, carbon dioxide, the gas that feeds every plant, every crop, every tree. Without it, there is no food. Without it, there is no future. And now, according to RFK's Chemtrail Task Force, levels are plunging into the red zone. Plants are starving. The biosphere is collapsing. Humanity is being pushed into slow suffocation while the media cheers the disaster as a success story. They promised salvation. They delivered is apocalypse, or what they delivered is apocalypse. And unless we stop them now, unless we tear the mask off the global experiment, all right, the stakes couldn't be higher, because it isn't just the planet on the brink of extinction, it's us, all right, which the Heavenly Father created the earth to be inhabited. All right, so individuals are going to survive this, all right, but however, he's set up to do his duty, okay, until it's time for him to be taken out of the way, which is coming soon. So this devil clearly has to be taken down, and not only taken down, they got to be bound, man. All right, which they're going to be in slavery for 1,000 years before they're completely wiped out. So yeah, I wanted to do this quick lesson. I hope that it was edifying, giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Double honors to our apostles and our elders of the Church of Great Millstone. Peace and love, salutation, and mercy be unto the elect. Shalom.